You've probably seen countless videos from people flexing how much money they've made from Vinted over the last however many years. Resellers and people claim they make thousands of pounds every month, and last year in particular, in 2025, Vinted was a huge trending topic, with people ultimately claiming Vinted is a bit of a money hack. Today, I'm going to test if Vinted still works in 2026. Now, my background is owning a reselling business. We do £50,000 to £100,000 revenue every single month, so there isn't really anyone better to let you know if the Vinted method still works in 2026. We're trying this on a completely unbranded old account. Very little has been sold on here, and let's see how much money I can make on Vinted in 2026, and I've got 24 hours to do it. So first things first, we need to get the stock. Now the fun bit, we need to actually pick what on earth am I going to sell in this Vinted challenge for the next 24 hours. Now the timer has already started. It's 11:18 on Monday the 18th, so we have until like tomorrow morning basically. Most sales happen in the evening, so that's why it's really important that we get everything listed now and kind of optimized for like lunchtime and evening. It is going to be a bit of a task because Mondays are never the best day to sell. We are going to go with this. I've had this a couple of times. It's actually one of my favorite jackets. This is the About Blank puffer. Saw one come up pretty recently off season. I grabbed it because it was one of the most trending and viral puffers, and that's a good note, right? Easy to make money on stuff that's out of season. So ideally I bought this and I was just going to hang it up until, I don't know, September, October time. People start buying jackets again. But for the purpose of this challenge, the About Blank is coming with us. Brand new North Face jacket, or a North Face half zip, which is really cheap. It still has the tags, and retail on this is like probably around 90. I picked it up from another seller. It's basically like unwanted Christmas gifts. And kind of a few months into the year, what you find, which is really weird, is people do tend to sell shit they got in like a December, January sales that they just don't want. So you can find quite a lot of brand new steals like this. Now, one of my favorite items of all time, I've had this so many times in multiple colorways. I think it released in white, black, purple. The Supreme Nike collaboration, super faked, like really fake. It is a knit. Is absolutely gorgeous. This type of knit does quite well this time of year because it is kind of getting summer in the UK, but it's not actually that summery. You still need a knit in the evening for the majority of summer anyway in the UK. It's ridiculous. This is absolutely gorgeous. This is expensive, so I'm curious to see how well does an expensive item do. One of the most trending brands in the UK, Stone Island. It's kind of a UK staple. I think I actually used to own this. I think this is my piece from an outlet a while ago. So I will be losing some money on this because it's not like I didn't buy it to resell, but it has made its way to my reselling place. But this will be interesting to see how it goes because Stone Island, very popular in the UK, a really iconic brand, but again, it's not going to be too cheap. I'll probably have this around £90. But again, we'll get onto this soon. Denim tears. These are 100% authentic. I think I paid £50 for them. I thought they were going to be fake, but they're not. They're legit. Boom. The green's actually really popular. I've had loads of colorways of these over the years. They sell pretty well, so it'll be interesting to see how these get on, especially on Vinted now. These are so heavily faked. Will people trust me selling them on Vinted on like a faceless account? One of the coolest items we have today is the Mertra and Umbro hoodie. It's actually a double hood from their collaboration at the start of the year. Maybe it was January. I can't remember. Really sick piece. Super heavy hoodie. Got a good price on this one. Again, another brand that's really faked at the moment, especially on places like Vinted, so it'd be interesting to see how well people trust me selling this. Finally, as it is football season, I believe it's in 1999-2000 Barcelona home shirt is absolutely gorgeous. There's a bit of fading on the neck tag, but it's one of my favorite shirts. I resell this shirt in particular all the time because there's quite a lot of them about. Yeah, really cool. I absolutely love this shirt. It is a little bit worn, nearly 30 years old, which is crazy. It's like 25 years old, but this is absolutely gorgeous. So we have a kind of a big range of stock. Some stock's really cool, others are really streetweary, others are a bit hype. We've got vintage football. It's a really broad audience, so it's going to be really interesting to see how these perform on Vinted. All of these items, especially in the last year, I would have been able to buy on Vinted and then flip them back onto Vinted for basically profit. Like it's just so easy to do. Or at least it was so easy to do. So it's going to be interesting to see how easy it is to sell and how many views these are going to get if I optimize the listings correctly. So let's get into the money side of this video. So let's quickly take you through how much I paid for all these items. Now, my business sources a lot of items from buying up people's collections and people coming to sell to me directly, and that way we can provide instant cash out for basically cheaper items. So that's how we get a lot of this good stuff. However, we also do buy on places like Vinted, eBay, everywhere. Japan, we literally do everything. We have suppliers. Let me run through how much on average we kind of paid for each shirt. So this is a vintage Barcelona shirt. This is £40. I think this could be a good money maker. The denim tears were a part of a cash out we did for someone, and they came in at just £30. That is kind of sus. It's a really, really good price, but you can get these on sale brand new for like 100 quid. Now, retail they're around 150. So I won't be asking for too much for these because I want them to sell quick as well. One of my best pickups, the Supreme and Nike knit in the purple colorway. We paid £90 for this. I think we can, again, get double, but we might have to go quite a bit cheaper to get quite a quick sale, because the point is of this video to sell as much as physically possible in 24 hours. We want all of this to sell. The brand new North Face, the only brand new item we have, I think. This cost £20. Someone on Vinted, I believe, and they basically didn't want this anymore. So we were actually going to put this on a live selling auction because we thought we might get like £30–40 for it. Didn't think much of it, but it's now made its way into a YouTube video. So we will see how well this one does. The Merchant Umbra hoodie, a big steal on this one. This is 100% authentic as well. Now, we paid £50, a massive steal. But the issue we're going to have with this one, look at this on Vinted. There's already so many fakes and they're all like 60 quid. So if I list one at like £90, people are going to still think it's fake. So I'm really concerned about this. This is what I reckon one of the problems is with Vinted, is there's simply too many fakes on there, and people are worried about buying certain products. They think they're just fake. So we will see. And they just don't know how to authenticate them, man. Like, if you look at these tags, you know, they're going to look very similar to the fake ones, unfortunately, especially through a phone screen. Yeah, we will see. I don't know how much we're going to ask for this one. Again, I just want it sold, so probably below 100, which is crazy cheap considering the hoodie's amazing. Stone Island, this is the personal item, but I need to get rid of it. I just wanted to get rid of it. So again, brought it into here to this reselling space. I reckon we're going to list around £90 for this. I would have paid retail for this. That's why it doesn't really count, because we don't really buy retail, but I would have paid probably like 200, 220, I imagine. And finally, the About Blank puffer. Retail, 370. Pay 120. This is really difficult because no one's going to be searching for this now. However, it's a huge steal. Like, it's super cheap. This is completely sold out. It was one of the best jackets of 2025 and 26. Are people still going to want this jacket? You know, I honestly, I don't know. So they're all the items we've got. So in total, guys, like, the stock we have cost me a total of £350 chat without the Stone Island cost, because that cost, I'm going to say that costs £0, because that's just the personal. I just want to see how well the Stone Island sells. So 350 quid, that's really, really good. That is less retail than this. Reselling is just about supply, bro. If you can get the supply, you're going to be successful. This brings us on to our next stage of our Vinted challenge. It's picture time. We now need to take photos of all of these items and get them listed. But if you've watched my videos and if you know anything about reselling, you will know how crucially important the photos are. So we're going to have to try and smash it. I'll give you a few tips along the way. So as it stands, this is the current setup. So shelves here, a bit of a filming setup here for my like influencer stuff I do. Green screen there. We have two big lights. We're going to use these. These are like £30 each, or like 40 quid each. They're actually pretty affordable. The light here is good enough. Basically, you just need either really good natural light or a strong light, a white light like that. So that also works really fine. So I'm thinking here is going to be where we're taking some pics. Let me show you. So I'm going to get both lights on, and then we will get one of these facing down, and then we should eliminate most of the shadows here, and let me show you what the kind of look is going to go for. So let's test the Barca shirt real quick. You want to get a few pictures. These look really nice. Boom. One. We want to get a few close-ups. So this Barcelona in particular is a little bit worn. Obviously, it's like a 20-year-old tee, a little bit of fading on the print or the neck tag print. But I mean, other than that, that is absolutely beautiful. It doesn't need to be too perfect because we are in a bit of a rush. And the whole point of this video is to show you that you can kind of still do it at home. One tip that I would recommend, you need to have the guidance squares when you're taking a photo. You need to make sure you have them turned on. Done nice and quick. We only probably about half hour in that, to be brutally honest, which was quite good. And we obviously make sure the items are really 10 out of 10. Now we've taken all the photos and made them look super polished. It's time to actually get everything listed on Vinted, try and optimize that algorithm so I can make as much money as physically possible. It's time to list. The most important part, alongside the photos, is the listing. So the account I'm actually using, go over to my profile, you will see this is a profile I do loads of buying on. I've got a few bits on here from my girlfriend. The account itself is basically dormant in terms of selling. So there's not like a big selling history here. There's no profile picture. It's under a personal name of mine, and that's it. So it'll be really interesting to see how this goes down. But before we begin listing, guys, we need to use something called Photo Room. This is not an ad, although we have worked together before. I just use this app constantly. It's basically the best way to Photoshop your images. So I'm going to go through my photos now. I'm going to pick a few of the best pictures we took. This. Boom. So there you go. So basically, as you can see on the screen recording here, it should, if it's going to work properly, there you go. It basically crops out all the background, so it makes it look really professional. Now, you don't have to do that. I have nice backgrounds here, so I probably don't need to do that. However, not everyone has nice backgrounds, so I think Photo Room's really good. So you can literally lay it on like a dirty, not you should lay it on dirty, make sure it's clean, but laying it on a bit of floor you don't like, your bed, wherever it may be, just make sure your item is flat laid, and then you've instantly got like a really good 10 out of 10 picture. You can also move them around, which is great. Like, look, Look how good this looks, bro. And you can literally export all images. You just might need to go through a few of them and make sure they look good. The only one that hasn't come out that well is the About Blank puffer. That looks kind of overexposed. Give it a bit of shadow. So I want to take the brightness down a little bit. There we go. We just got to take the brightness down a bit because the item's a bit too bright. It doesn't show the real color. It's more of a sage and like a white. Export all, and then you've got all those images now saved to your camera roll, which is sick. Now, finally ready to go onto Vinted. Right, I'm going to start with the Barcelona shirt. One trick you guys should do is if you don't know what year your item's from, or you want to know what it is you've got, all you need to do is open Google Lens, and then you can literally just hit boom. It will tell you exactly about the item. It is 1998 to 1999. It's probably around £70, £80 value-wise. So it's pretty good. Vintage Barcelona 98/99 home shirt. 100% authentic. Great pre-loved condition. I always love smoke-free home. People do care about that, by the way. This description is just fucking great. Please see photos attached. What I will add, so this is going to be my basic description. Some small signs of wear, but overall fantastic for age. Can add something here if you want about how fast you get stuff shipped. So you could do next day shipping, or shipped in 1 day, shipped in 12 hours, shipped in 24 hours, whatever it may be. My description is pretty meaty already, so it's quite long, so we're going to ignore that one. £40 for this Barca shirt. I'm going to go 65. No, I'll go 60. £20 profit is good, especially in this 24-hour challenge. We'll take £20 profit. There we go. It is fully listed, chat. I'm going to go and list the rest of the items, and then I'll come back to you once they're all done. Now everything is listed on Vinted. All we need to do is wait and see what sells, what offers we get in, and if anyone does message us, it's my job to communicate with them and actually try and get a sale. Boom. So about an hour later, ladies, the question is how long is stuff actually going to take to sell, or if it's even going to sell at all. We have a total of 7 items listed: the Stone Island, the Nike and Supreme swoosh, the brand new North Face £25, denim tears, About Blank, and the Mertra. On most of the descriptions, they're exactly the same, copy and pasted, except we've changed the great pre-love condition depending on their actual condition. We have had some interest already, guys. So we've had an offer for the vintage Barcelona. You want it's £45. That's obviously too low. It's literally just been listed. I've gone high, bro. Thanks so much for the offer. It's literally just been listed, so I'm not looking to take £45 as it will probably go today. I always like saying the item will most likely go today, as that's the reason I'm not saying, to kind of put the urgency and the commitment in their call, if that makes sense. Guy said, hello, any marks or signs of wear on the jacket? Hello, nope, very good condition. Everything has now been uploaded. It is now 1:17 in the afternoon. We started this challenge at what, like 10, 11? Literally all I've got to do is wait. I'll keep you updated if we have any interest in stuff. Hopefully we do, because it would be kind of depressing if we don't. All right, so I'm about to go to bed shortly, or get ready to go to bed anyway. We've had a couple of sales. I won't expose what yet. We're definitely not flying. Probably made a little bit of profit, but it's not amazing. There's quite a lot of interest in the About Blank puffer, which is really fun. But I don't know if it's just the stock I've chosen that's not that great, or tried to be really smart with it, so I don't know. Often overnight stuff sells pretty well for me, or when I've done Vinted in the past. So let's see if it works. Probably got about until 11 midday tomorrow morning, and then the 24-hour challenge will be fully up, and we conclude the Vinted reselling journey again. And like that, the 24-hour period is up. Let's see how I got on, and ultimately answer the question, does Vinted reselling still work in 2026? So the next day is here. It is 11:33, if you can see that. So 24 hours is basically up, and I'm going to open Vinted to see how the sales went. Now, I actually have no idea. I haven't been on the app. I've been super busy. Literally just done probably what most people would do. They would list items on Vinted and just to see if they sell or not and respond to any messages. That's what I basically did. I think this whole test has been quite an authentic representation. So currently left, Stone Island, Supreme and Nike, the About Blank, North Face. I thought that had 1 view. Holy shit. And the Barca that had 10 views. We have 2 items sold. We have the Denim Tears shorts and the Mertra hoodie. Fuck, that's actually pretty shit. One thing I should say is the About Blank puffer got fuckloads of interest, like so much. But what was really interesting about this experiment is that the Denim Tears only had 5 views. The Mertra had 6 views. But the general viewership across basically a fresh account, a 5-star fresh account, so I've never sold anything before, and really good items was super low. So the Stone Island had 7 views. The North Face, £25, 1 viewer. The About blank had 137, so that was good. And then the Barca had 10. That's not that good. And these listings, look how good my store is. Like, the listings are really optimized. They've been edited really nicely. They're 100% authentic. The items have verification on available if people want to pay for that. A bit disappointed with Vinted, to be completely honest. So been a bit of a letdown. So across the 2 sold items, I made £20 on the denim tiers and 20 quid on the merch. So I made £40 profit in 24 hours, which is fine, but these items are really well priced. These are really good. And I feel like people are honestly looking at them and being like, that's fake. I'm gonna go and compile my thoughts. We will conclude my experience of reselling on Vinted again. So to conclude, overall, it was pretty crap. It was pretty disappointing, to be honest. In 24 hours, I made £40 profit, which actually isn't terrible, but it's not ideal, especially in this kind of challenge where it was pretty loose. It was basically just trying to show if Vinted was still hyped and in demand in 2026. First issue, the views were so low. On all the items, the views were really low. The optimization of the item out for the algorithm was really good. Like, the photos were great. Descriptions were pretty chill. All of that stuff that's worked for like 10 years plus and still works now. I know it still works now. Didn't work. I think one massive issue on Vinted now, and just across marketplaces in general, is that everyone is so scared of fakes. Authentic buyers who want real items aren't necessarily buying from random people like they were, 5, 6, 7 years ago, maybe even less, to be honest, a few years ago, two years ago, to be honest, because they are so scared of buying fakes. And that's because places like Vinted allow users to list loads of fakes, and that's now a thing. Everyone knows there are so many fakes on Vinted, and as a result, authentic buyers who want to buy real stuff are terrified to buy. If you wanted to get into vintage reselling in 2026, or reselling in general, the one solution I can give you that will make you a profitable reseller will be building a successful personal brand. Not even a successful personal brand, building a personal brand. We're now in an age where people buy from people. They want to buy from people who are authentic, who are real, and basically ultimately people they can trust, because we live in 2026. We're in a transitional era. These platforms haven't figured out how to stop fakes. It was interesting. It was a really interesting experience the last 24 hours. And to be honest, I started this challenge. Maybe I was way too arrogant, but I started this challenge. I was like, this is going to be easy. I'm going to sell fucking loads. I know so much. We buy and sell all the time, but I haven't been on Vinted for a while. Yeah, I haven't made a Vinted video in a little while. So it was an interesting experience. One thing I would add, I feel like they are really pushing their Vinted bump feature. I didn't use that because I didn't want to have to pay even more money to list my stuff on there. I don't know what else to say. I was kind of pissed and disappointed. And I kind of sat here like, that was a bit crap. 40 quid profit is what it is. Let me know your thoughts below. And guys, please like, subscribe. These videos take me so long to do, and my editors and, everyone puts a lot of effort in. So please like and subscribe, and let me know what videos you want to see next. But as always, guys, thank you for supporting. Very grateful. Peace.